Jesus Christ, the Son of God, has an answer to every problem that you face. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, has an answer to every burden that you carry.
If he had not become a man, if he had not put on a body of flesh and blood, he could not have redeemed us. He had to become a man to die.
In America, we don't worship government, we worship God. We want all children to have the opportunity to know the blessings of God. We will not allow the government to censor sermons, to restrict the free speech of our pastors and our preachers and the people that we most respect.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me. I am your host, Billy Ray Parrish, for God's Gospel Radio Ministries, the seat of a nation. This is Talking Point. Today, we only have a short time, maybe 20 minutes, so we will be discussing the COVID-19 vaccine. In recent days, I have been asked by different people what I thought about COVID-19 vaccine, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think much of it. There is no science behind COVID-19. There is no science behind wearing masks and other efforts to fight the virus. The virus itself is just a virus. Is it a deadly threat? Depends on who you are. To me, it wouldn't be. They say that the COVID-19 vaccine has a success rate of 1%. That sounds like a bet. Sounds like one. Okay, I'll give you that. But if you have COVID-19, you have a 99.99% survival rate. So you're dropping off by almost 5% by taking the vaccine. Why would you do that? It doesn't seem like a very safe bet to me. If you have one option that has a better survival odds, why would you go in for the other just because they want to fear? I had a friend of mine, a neighbor, call and ask me about COVID-19. We talked some time about it. COVID-19 is not a new situation. It's been almost a year-long trial. And I say trial because there's something bigger in behind COVID-19. Just one of the reasons why we have experienced COVID-19 had to do with the 2020 presidential election here in the United States. They accomplished some of their goals with it, mail-in ballots and so forth. We won't go too much into that, if any at all, on this program, because again, we are limited on time. But it created chaos, and that's one thing that they wanted. FDR once said, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Well, people are very fearful right now of COVID-19, and why? There's very little deaths that are happening because of the virus. It was reported yesterday, and there's more that's coming out today, that Luke Letlow, Representative-elect Luke Letlow, died yesterday from a heart attack. But it was listed as a death of COVID-19 or from COVID-19. This is how a lot of these deaths are being labeled. Something else causes you to die, but they label it as COVID-19, and this is not just one isolated incident. There's many incidents like this. Bill Gates has become a leading figure in behind the COVID-19 vaccination. What does Bill Gates have to do with the medical industry? If you have an answer to that, then you can share it with me. There is no reason why we should be listening to Gates. Bill Gates, the story of Gates anyway, is long, and it's interesting, but not in any good sense. This is not a good man. The man is tied to Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and so forth. So this man has to be questioned. When the people who are selling the fear are also selling the vaccine, you have to be cautious. You have to draw that question mark, draw that line somewhere. Americans in the world are so afraid of a vaccine or of a virus without a vaccine, without remembering that the flu has a vaccine. We have a flu shot. And tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people die from the flu each and every year. So what is the ultimate goal of the COVID-19 vaccine? Do you hope with the vaccine to limit the number of deaths? You can never cure a virus. You've still got the flu. You've had the flu for generations, for decades, for millenniums. So what do you expect to accomplish? This is something that I have had to ask different people. What do you expect to accomplish with the COVID-19 vaccine? I just don't understand why a vaccine would be the cure-all. We have cures to cancers, I wholeheartedly believe, but they will not release them because there is no profits to be made. Cure. So if you're expecting a COVID-19 vaccination to be the cure-all, you're dead wrong. So I'm not sure what people expect with a vaccine. The same friend that I was talking about earlier that called me has called me a conspiracy theorist many times because I do not buy into almost anything that is sold from the mainstream media or out of Washington, D.C. The same Washington, D.C. that spied on Donald Trump is selling us the COVID-19 vaccination. Why would I then trust an organization such as the FBI or the CIA to give me the cure? Makes no sense. It honestly makes no sense. We're looking at a vaccine with a survival rate of, or we're looking at a virus with a survival rate of 99.99%. They're giving you a vaccine with the success rate of 95%. A vaccine that was made within less than a year. That's pretty quick timing, if you ask me. Pretty quick turnaround when you think about how long it normally takes to create a vaccine. This is something that I found very interesting when researching Bill Gates, and I'm sure that many Christians would find this interesting themselves. Patent number W0 or WO slash 2020 slash 060606 was registered on March 26, 2020. The patent application was filed by Microsoft Corporation or Microsoft Technology Licensing LLC, headed by Bill Gates, back on June the 20th of 2019, and on April the 22nd of 2020, the patent was granted international status. So what was this patent for? It was for a cryptocurrency system which uses body activity data. What could that be for? Note, though, they're at the very end, 066, which would translate to the mark of the beast, 666. They're not even hiding this stuff anymore. If you ask me what do I think about the COVID-19 vaccine, I don't think much about it. I don't think anyone should take it. I am not a medical doctor. I cannot legally, nor would I ever tell someone what to do with their own body. Your body, your choice. But you better believe that they're going to tell you you have to take this, or there's certain things, a lot of things that you will not be able to do. You ask me if I'm going to take it? No. But there is going to come a time when I have to make a decision whether to take the vaccine or not do other things in society. I'm not saying this is the mark of the beast. It may not be. It very well could be, but it could be something that leads to the mark of the beast. In any situation, this is for a bigger purpose. They're using the COVID-19 vaccination, just like they used the COVID-19 virus, as a trial run. On Christmas Day, December 25th of 2020, here in Nashville, there was a bombing at the AT&T building. Why is that important? Well, when you look at the timing of it, 6:30 in the morning, and you start to dig a little deeper, you can actually get 666, 6:30 in the morning, 333 Commerce Street, 666. They send you messages even when you give no thought to it. That's why we have to look deep in behind all these things. I know a lot of people say, you look too deep in it. I've had old men tell me that I look too deep into things, any situation, whether it's politics or whatever, and that normal, average people do not think that way. That when other people get into the ballot box, they don't think the way I do. They don't vote the way I do. I'm not so sure about that. I think Donald Trump has woken a lot of people up, and I think the last 4 years have shown a lot of people that you cannot trust those in control of us, especially our politicians. Those that we elect have been shown to be the biggest traitors on earth. We look at the people that's supposed to represent us. They're supposed to, but they don't. They represent their own interests. And we're seeing that with those who are backing the COVID-19 vaccination. Look at the COVID-19 relief package, for example. We get $600. The American people get $600. Not all, but a lot get $600. Pakistan and other countries, they get millions and billions of dollars. Why are we sending Pakistan $20 million to figure out the difference between a man and a woman? Why are we sending the Sudan $700 million so they can pay down their debt? Why are we sending the Middle East money so they can build a wall, Jordan and Syria there? We need our own wall built. There are politicians in this country who are fighting against us having our own security. We know that this money that's earmarked to go to a certain place for a certain reason will come back into the country, come back into a special interest, an organization, what have you, as a way of money laundering. It will go back to these people, which is even sadder. They take money from the American people, send it over to another location, and then launder it back to themselves. That's theft. And these people should be trialed as thefts. If you steal something, you better believe that you're going to go to jail for theft. Why are these people not in jail? Why did only 6 Republicans vote against the $600? Why is President Trump the champion of the small people, of the little guy, of we the people? I've heard a lot of people put this man down. He's a billionaire, so he's out of touch with everyday Americans, when it's this billionaire who's fighting to give us $2,000. Why was it back in March Nancy Pelosi said that $1,200 was just crumbs, breadcrumbs, but now she's saying that $600 is a significant amount of money. She has $600 worth of ice cream in her freezer. It's just sad to see what we're seeing transpire right now. More so, it's sad to see just how much the American people will buy into. If they're told there is something to fear, they fear. If you tell them that Christ is coming back, they don't bat an eye. Why not? We're supposed to be one nation under God. The only thing that we don't really take seriously anymore is that of God. God can do all things. He's the same today as he was yesterday, and he'll be the same tomorrow as he is today. So why are we fearing a virus with the survival rate of 99.9%? A vaccine with a success rate of 95%. That means almost a drop off of 5%. My friend couldn't believe that when I told him that. He's like, what? Say that again. He didn't believe me. I know he didn't believe me, but it is what it is. People are so attached to different personalities on television that if they say something, they have to be right. So when I or someone else comes at them with a different point of view, I must be wrong. That other person must be wrong because their favorite personality or personalities said something otherwise. That's the way we have been taught. It's the way we have been indoctrinated from a young age. Back in February or March, when Me and Mike were doing some COVID-19 studies, and we found that China was a real big actor in this, and how they start from a young age or indoctrinate children from a young age. China has so much invested into our educational system that it's really not funny anymore. And then you realize exactly what their goal is. When you start connecting the dots, you realize China is part of all of this, and they're still a part of all of this. The governors in these blue states, as well as these red states, many of them are bought and paid for by China, and they have a real agenda with China, a motive to see. Then you look around and see what you get for that. If they can infiltrate Georgia, if they can infiltrate Arizona, see what's happening in California. Some of their politicians, maybe many of their politicians, are connected in. No wonder that we're losing, but we're not losing because an outside force defeated us. We're losing because of an internal force. An internal force that no longer wants to see we the people as number one, but rather they want to see a globalist state. That's the ultimate goal. Vladimir Lenin said that the goal, socialism, is communist. Who is a communist state? China, the CCP. That's where it's all headed. And COVID-19, the vaccine, is just one part in this. And we're just about out of time because there are other programs right after this. I just wanted to come on real quick and answer the question in the only way I know how. Be straightforward, talking points. I am Billy Ray Parrish for God's Gospel Radio Ministry. Seed of the Nations Talking Points. And until next time, and I do ask you to please stay tuned until next time, as there are other programs ahead of us, and we will be back for programs. And until then, thank you, stay safe, and God bless.